Hey, hey, hey dudes and chicks and neither, if those rules don't apply to you. In this video, I'm going to be doing a battle of my blue palettes. Basically, I have never used this palette and I've only used this palette one time. That's my Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette and my Blue Moon palette, and I just kind of decided to do like a comparison, like which one performs better, which one do I like better, which one do I like the color story better. The ColourPop Blue Moon palette looks like this. This is the color story. It's obviously a 9-pan palette, monochromatic. You can't get that many looks out of it. I'm wearing it right now, so yeah, if you guys want to see how I got this look, or if you guys want to see which one of these compares to each other, this is the color story in the Blue Blood palette. It's actually somewhat of a blue-green palette. So I have a few blue-green palettes that I was thinking about doing the same thing, blah, 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 I digress. So tomorrow, so this video is going to include a look with this palette and a look with this palette, and then I'm going to talk about like which one I think is better. I fucking hope this one's better because it was fucking about 3 times as expensive. In fact, more than 3 times the price of this palette. So if this one's not better, then I'll probably, what am I going to do? What are you going to do, bitch? You're going to fucking buy the next Jeffree Star palette. Actually, I didn't buy the last Jeffree Star palette, and I've regretted it ever since, so I should just fucking buy it. I might just fucking buy it. I definitely want the new one, Bloodlust. I have Bloodlust. How could I not? How could I not fucking want every fucking palette that's named after blood? How could I not fucking want it? Anyway. Stay tuned if you guys are interested in watching a battle of these two palettes, or if you guys want to know how I got this look. Stay with me. Okay, so I'm going to start in the color Starry Eyed, and I'm just going to start packing that in my outer V in the crease. And I'm really just packing that on. I'm not really blending it that much. And the reason why is because of that thing that I was talking about in a video a long time ago about how if you start blending it up and you have any tones of yellow in your skin, which I have one shade of yellow and one shade of yellow to away from neutral. If you have any yellow in your skin tone, your blue will blend out green. And if you have any, right, on the same token, if you have any red in your skin tone, your blue will blend out purple. So you don't want to blend your blue too much. You want to have a good blend. I can get away with a little. But that's the trick to using blues, is you don't want to overblend them unless you go all the way to the brow. Speaking of, I have a little bit of product. My brows didn't turn out the way that good this morning. Having a bad brow day. Oh, and that was my Morphe JH33. And then I'm going to go in with my Zoeva 221, and I'm going to go into the color Moonlight and use that to blend it out. Well, I was thinking that there wouldn't be a whole lot of difference between these two colors, but there actually is. This color Moonlight is really got a lot more of that white I want to say chalky, but that's like a negative connotation. It's not, it's chalky, but it like has a lot more white in it. So it really like, you can see the gradient between the two. So that's nice. Okay, and then I'm going to go back into Starry Eyed, and I'm just going to tap my JH33 and kind of just run that along my lower lid. The great thing about these ColourPop palettes is that they're quick. It's quick to do a look with one of these monochromatic palettes. Not the other ones, but the monochromatic ones, because there's not a lot of options. And then I'm just going to go back into Moonlight with my my Zoeva 221 and blend that out. And if you guys notice, I'm not like blowing it out how I normally blow it out. Just because you want to be careful. I mean, honestly, I don't give a fuck about being careful, but this is for you guys. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my Morphe M506. And I'm going to use the color Clued In. Oh my god, I went to the gym last night and my arm is burning. And I'm just going to tap a little bit of that into the outer V to give it some dimension. So I got my ass back to the gym about 3 weeks ago. I'm fucking happy about it. Last night was really hard for me. I feel like there just comes a point where like you get really tired and then you have to like push through and then like it gets better. But like that part where you're like, oh, should I listen to my body? And all these fucking excuses fill your head. And like obviously you should listen to your body, but your body tells you lies like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I need rest. Like, no, that's fucking lies. You need to push through so that you can get results, right? So that you can get a good system in place. But like, you know. So yeah, I'm not going to go overboard with that dark blue. I really like this lighter blue. In fact, I'm just going to kind of go in and with the same brushes and the same colors and just kind of reinforce, because I really like this color Starry Eyed. It's cute as fuck. I don't want it to go away. And then with no additional product, I'm just going to go in with my Zoeva 221 and kind of, and that looks great. So this is a little more blended than what, not everybody can get away with blending this out like that. Like normally you would just like leave it. So if you guys can see, this is white right here. And I normally like put color all the way up to the brow bone. So like the more yellow or the further away from neutral you are, the more you're going to want to stay with you're going to want to use this technique like to pack and just barely blend. I'm going to use my NYX glitter primer and some old crusty fucking ABH brush that I've been using to put glue on my eyelids. And I'm just kind of pushing that glue up into my crease so it just goes a little tiny bit above it so that you'll be able to see the shadow. I'm going to use the color Tide Pool, I guess, as my lid shade. I'm just going to go on my lower lid. And then it never gets old. Okay, so now I'm going to use the color Lumi to highlight my inner corner. Or my inner corner highlight. And actually, I'm going to take that color Lumi and I'm going to put it along the top, the highest point of my eyelid. to just add some dimension here. And then I'm going to highlight my brow bone. I really like this little tiny brush for this. I think that looks pretty. Okay, I'm going to put some color in my waterline, do my eyelashes, do my lips. I'm going to put on some highlighter, and I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, so this is the final look. I actually used like a variety of colors in my waterline. I didn't like the payoff. I used the LA Girl Neon eyeliner in Electric, and I didn't really like the payoff. So I went over it with my NYX Jumbo crayon in Milk, and I didn't like the way that looked. And so then I went over it with my NYX Platinum Slide On Glide On All Day, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't like that. So then I went back over it with this, and I still don't love it. It's okay. It looks okay. And then I use my Kaleidos makeup highlighter in Skywalker on my Cupid's bow, chin, blah, 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 all this. I used my Too Faced mascara, Marc Jacobs Noir, and then I went over it with my Kush mascara because my Too Faced mascara, Better Than Sex, is getting old as fuck. Yeah, I really like this look. I think it looks super magical. I did go back in and put a little bit more of that dark color on the lower lid to give it more dimension. And I feel like when you look at pictures of Mimi from Drew Carey, you know, that was kind of the idea, is that when you wear blue makeup, people kind of look like Mimi, or maybe even they just feel like Mimi and they don't really look like Mimi, they just feel like it. But like, I think that the big difference between this and Mimi is dimension, right? So when we add the darker colors, it makes it look a little better. And then, you know, that piece about like blending your colors out and them looking green. I use my Fenty lip gloss, my Fenty Gloss Bomb in Diamond Milk on my lips. It's winter makes my lips dry as fuck, so it just seems more comfortable and easier. And then also, so yeah, I really like this look, and honestly, like, I am surprised at how much I like it with that shimmer on the lid. Let me know what you guys think, and then tomorrow I'll be doing the Blue Blood palette, and we'll see like how one measures against the other. Obviously, this one has a lot more options, so we'll see what I feel like doing tomorrow, but I'm really going to try to stay away from these blue greens and try to really stick with the straight blues and see like which performs better. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm back. Since I'm using the Blue Blood palette today, and since I'm doing a look that's kind of like competing with the Blue Moon palette by ColourPop, I think I kind of want to do a different look, but I'm going to do one that's as similar as I can get so that it'll be comparable, right? I can't like do a completely different look and then be like, oh, I like this palette better. Like, we have to like, even though it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go into the color Blue Blood, and I'm going to use my Morphe JH33, and I'm just going to start in the outer V and start dragging this into my crease. And I'm going to pack this. And now that I have this color packed really well, I'm just going to start like blending out the outer edge just a little bit to kind of get rid of this harsh line. It's blending really well. I feel like sometimes the difference between a good shadow and a bad shadow is when you blend it, it'll either like blend into the primer and like kind of meld in with it, or it'll just like start blending away. Some shadows, like, you can't blend them, otherwise they'll just go away. Okay, so I'm going to use my Zoeva 221, and I'm going to go into the color I'm Cold, and I'm going to just start patting that along the outer edge of that color, Blue Blood, and then like blending out the line. And I'm going to go heavy on the inner corner, just exactly how I did yesterday. And we'll see if we get the same kind of dimension that we got yesterday with that. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my Morphe JH33, and I'm going to go into the color Blue Blood and just kind of start running that along my lower lash line. And then with my Zoeva 221 and into I'm Cold, and just kind of I don't know why. There just seems to be a subtle difference. It feels like this palette has a little more of a like grayer undertone. Just because yesterday when I put that look on, I felt like I looked like magical clouds. And a while back I was talking about doing an ice princess or like the ice queen look. And I ended up like kind of being a little late on that, just because I didn't realize the seasons were really gonna, I mean the holidays were gonna dictate so much what my makeup looks were gonna look like. I didn't foresee that. But this really does look like the Ice Queen more. It looks a little more kind of just evil. I don't know how to explain it. It just has a little bit more of a dingy undertone, whereas that ColourPop palette really was like, hi, how are ya? I'm so happy. Like, and this looks a little bit more like, I'm going to turn this whole kingdom into a frozen wasteland kind of feel. Anyway, so what am I going to do now? I feel like this blended out really good, and there is some good dimension. I might go in with a Blue Blood a little bit more and kind of just place a little more on, which it's going on there just fine. There we go. That looks nice. I like that. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that the color that's like comparable to the color that I used yesterday to deepen the outer V, the color in this is like straight up. It's called Undertaker, and I'm sure it's for a good reason, because it's probably going to like change this whole look. So I'm going to use my Morphe M506 and tap the excess off so that I can keep it. I'm just going to take a little tiny bit more. Okay, I like that, and I'm going to use my Morphe JH43, and I'm going to dip into that color Undertaker, and I'm just going to run this on the outer corner or the outer part of my lower lid and kind of connect it right there, and then I'm just going to and then my Morphe JH33 and kind of get rid of that line. Ooh, that looks good. And then my Zoeva 221 and blend that out. So then I'm going to use my ABH stock ABH brush to apply my NYX glitter primer. Okay, I'm gonna go into the color Ice Tray because that's the closest. Honestly, if I mix two colors together, it might be a little bit closer, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to take away from the essence of the palettes. So yeah, I'm just going into the color Ice Tray with my Kaleidos S4. Taking that just above my crease and all the way back, and then I'm going to go in with my Morphe M506 and just blend that darker shade so that there's an even blend right here. Kind of drag that down. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the lower lid. Okay, and then I'm going to go into the color Cullinan, and I'm going to use that as my inner corner highlight. This like white color right here, whitish blue. And I'm going to use my baby little Zoeva 238, this little teeny tiny brush. I'm going to spray it. It really bothers me when people are like testing new makeup and they don't do anything. When they just use a dry brush on shimmers and don't like spray the brush and don't like use any primer. Like, I get it, they're just trying to see like what's the payoff without it, but I never don't do something to like get my shimmers to really like pop. I use glitter primer, I use spray, I use my finger, I'll do any fucking thing to get more payoff. I never use a dry brush. It's ridiculous. Anyway, okay, so that's it. I'm going to do the other eye, put some color in my waterline, do my lipstick and my lashes, and I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, so this is it. This is the final look. I guess what I was kind of looking for when I did these two looks is I wanted to know if there was going to be some gradient between the light blue, the baby blue, and the other baby blue. And the same with the Blue Blood palette. I feel like there's a light blue and this blue, and there really isn't that much difference in them in the pan. And often when you see colors that are that similar, they don't look different on the skin. And so these ones both really do. And so I could get a good... I could get some depth just by using those two colors, and so I thought that was super great. I did end up going back into the color Undertaker to deepen up the outer V and deepen up the lower lid for this look, just because I wanted it to look a little bit different than yesterday. I didn't want to look exactly the same. The other thing I did was I did go back in to the color Cullinan and kind of put that along my lid on the top. The bottom line is, I like both of these palettes. They're both really good, and this one is inexpensive and this one is super bougie. I'm glad I own both of them. I kind of have been wondering this whole time if like I should get rid of one and just keep the other to kind of make some room in my stash or whatever. But no, I really like both of them, and I'm really glad I have them both, and I feel like they both have a different feel. And even though this color Clued In is really dark and it looks very similar to Undertaker, I feel like the two looks that I created, even though they look similar, they have a kind of a different feel. And so I'm really into undertones, and so I appreciate that. But honestly, like for the person, if you just want a good blue palette, this is a really good blue palette, and this is a really good blue palette, and the packaging is like fucking spectacular, and this is like easy to store. It goes in your purse easily. These actually come out, they're attached by magnets, so you could take all of these out and put them in another like Z palette or whatever. So anyways, yeah, I used my Urban Decay Glide On Pencil in Chaos, and honestly, I'm realizing yesterday and today that I don't really have a blue eyeliner that I love. I think I'm going to order the Makeup Forever Cobalt Blue, I think is what it's called, and try that, because the Makeup Forever eyeliner pencils are really good. This doesn't really have any lasting power. It looks great right now, but yeah, so it's a great blue. Like, it's like 80s. It's fucking 80s, baby. But, yeah. So anyway, then I used my Fussy Gloss Bomb, my Fenty Gloss Bomb and Fussy, and you guys know what I did with my eyelashes and shit. Also, I went in and reblended my inner corner highlight because I just like it a little bit more blown out than that little specific. I mean, I think it looks good like that, but I prefer it like this, blown out a little more. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hang out with me down there. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you can see every time I upload. What else? Oh, I always do that. I'm like, what do I say right now? Anyway, I gotta go wake up my baby for school. It's super early. She's probably gonna be really tired. And so, yeah, you guys could have been anywhere, but you were here spending time with me, and I totally appreciate you. I'll see you next time.